And still no arrest, but they are still trying to figure out if there is anything criminal that happened. We are 8 days away from Super Bowl 50. Panthers head coach earlier this week, Ron Rivera, on preparing for Peyton Manning.
That's the benefit for us right now, having the extra week. You get a chance to really look at a lot of things that he's done this season. And as coaches, we will go all the way back and try to look for things that they've done. Not necessarily chase ghosts and try to make things up, but really look at the hard evidence as to what they do offensively and what they've done with him as their quarterback.
And Manning answering the hard-hitting questions earlier this week, whether or not he told Bill Belichick that this might be his last rodeo.
I don't know. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. What happened to private conversations on the 50-yard line? I guess they just don't exist anymore. So, no confirmation on that whatsoever. As we are on to Carolina. We're on to Carolina.
One more note in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers had his knee scoped after the season, believed that he will be ready for minicamp. As always, go to NBCSportsRadio.com for all of our SUV scores. I'm Keith Irizarry, and this is NBC Sports Radio.
This is KCAA.
So, you've moved and you've got a lot of things you don't need anymore. Where are you going to turn? Nope, not them. But a new, cool, and innovative way to sell your unwanted stuff online waiting for you at buysellmakeoffer.com. Buy, Sell, Make Offer is exactly what you do. There are positively no fees whatsoever, but there are 4 different monthly memberships to choose from. Skype is available with each. So cool.
Yep.
And there's a 60-day free trial membership to launch your very own store online. Buysellmakeoffer.com could be the next big thing.
Oh, yeah!
Good news is it's already here. Sign up today. Go to buysellmakeoffer.com right now and see what the buzz is all about.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-643-6931 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-643-6931 to take your call now. Call 1-800-643-6931. That's 1-800-643-6931. Again, 1-800-643-6931.
Hey Di, do you know that many people have no idea that the Carousel Mall is actually open?
What? Do you tell them that that's where KCAA is located?
Of course, but there's more than just KCAA here.
Oh, I know. It's a totally great place for a girls' outing. Here at the Carousel Mall, there's Mega Beauty Supply.
And it's huge.
Yeah, the biggest beauty supply store I've ever seen. And they have wigs and extensions.
Then there's Backstreet Beauty Salon and Daniel's Jewelers, a store, by the way, for girls and guys.
Yes, and Nail Fashions where they do waxing and eyelash extensions. There's Lisa's Threading. You know, Mark, eyebrow threading is a big thing nowadays.
I do know about Mr. Yu's.
Yes, when you're ready for lunch, it's Mr. Yu's Chinese restaurant.
Best of all, Mr. Yu's is right next to KCAA.
Yes, all this located in the Carousel Mall, right off the 215, the 2nd and 3rd Street exit.
Come visit the Carousel Mall. We're open.
For more info, go to KCAAradio.com.
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
Welcome to I'm Mad as Hell with Lloyd Brock and Greg Simpson. Now, if you want to share your anger, this is the station, KCAA, every Saturday at 12 noon. If you're mad as hell at the government, politicians, IRS, your bank, a car dealer, or the court system, let us know. You may want to be one of our in-studio guests, or just call in and vent that anger. 1-888-909-1050 or 909-888-5222 locally. We may not be able to resolve your individual problems, but we will give you a forum to share your anger with our listeners. Now, join us at KCAA 1050 AM and at kcaaradio.com or check us out at Ustream. Now, here's Lloyd and Greg.
Anymore. Not anymore, huh? I'm mad as hell. Are you? Again? Oh, yeah. All right, so am I. All you have to do is read the newspapers and watch TV, and you become mad as hell.
Or walk down the street or go to the grocery store, right?
Well, yeah, but it's mostly politics today, and I mean, it's just really ridiculous. I can understand why America is mad as hell.
Yeah, I can understand,
I'm anxious to find out what's going to happen in Iowa, Monday. Anyway, I'm mad as hell about this recent bill before the Senate. It was supposed to be, it was screening Iraqi and Syrian refugees, and the vote turned out 55 to 43, and the Senate, this was last Wednesday before.
Okay.
And it just the week before last.
Okay.
And it failed to reach the 60 votes needed to advance the bill. And it was a House bill, H.R. 4038, to impose additional security screening on refugee applicants from Iraq and Syria. Now, the bill requires that the Secretary of Homeland Security, FBI Director, and the Director of the National Intelligence Agency to clear each applicant from these two countries before they enter the U.S. Makes sense, right?
Makes good sense, yeah.
It would add layers to the existing 2-year-long wait, but, the administration plans to accept 10,000 Syrians. I understand it's more than that now, probably about 1 million.
Yeah, at least.
But, what gets me are two senators, Dianne Feinstein and Barbara Boxer, voted no on this. What did we elect you for?
Yeah.
I mean, you're useless. My God.
Useless. They made good
statements. You saw what
statement.
happened in San Bernardino.
Yeah, they did. They seen it. They made good statements about it, about solving it. They want to take away our guns, that solves it.
You people out there have got to vote these people out of office.
That's right. That's all.
I don't care what they are. If they're not voting the way you want them to vote, Republican, Democrat,
it's we the people, remember? We the people. And if they're not doing like Lloyd says, if they're not doing what you say,
vote them out.
Vote them out.
Now, my voice is better this week.
Yes, it's much better. You look better.
You had laryngitis last week.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you mad as hell about?
Oh, I've got several things I'm mad as hell about. I'm trying to think which one I want to talk about first. I think I'll talk about a law that was passed in October that pro-life counseling places, which are mostly Christian-based, and it's even the people's ministry to minister to these pregnant women that are having issues. And so, they take a Christian view of things. And now, this law that they passed, they must post a sign saying that government-funded abortion is available to these women in their place. The audacity of this government. I cannot believe it. They have to do it. It's a law. They must post this sign. They have some big law Christian law group that are fighting it, but they're being shot down each time they get a stay for a minute, and somebody shoots it down.
The moneyed people are going to be
shooting
always
it down
in there, yeah.
So if you come to be loved, and then you're showing a way to do the ultimate act of hate, as far as I'm concerned, and destroy a baby. It's horrible. It's a horrible, horrible thing. Thank God we have some people that are trying to remedy it and get rid of it.
Yeah.
And there's some money behind it, so it might happen.
Well, there's talking about children. Oh, by the way, I want to remind people, if you want to call in and join the discussion, if you're mad as hell about the same subject or, something different, remember to call us on our local number is 1-909-888-5222.
And our long-distance number is 1-888-909-1050. And also remember, our show name is Mad as Hell, and we're at Kcaa 1050.
And you can get us on YouTube, too.
You can get us YouTube.
Archive all the shows.
Ustream as well.
But anyway, you were talking about children. Here's another thing I'm mad as hell about. And this was yesterday, Friday's paper, LA Times, Associated Press story. And this is investigating the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay.
As always.
As always.
But, it says the investigation says the department failed to run background checks on the adults in the sponsoring households of these immigrant children that were brought in.
Right.
Thousands of those children were farmed out to almost anybody without any background checks. And now some lawmakers contend the government weakened its child protective policies because it was overwhelmed by tens of thousands of children crossing the border. And a Senate subcommittee held a hearing Thursday to release the report and examine weaknesses in the department's placement of children. And they're saying it did not have the legal authority from Congress to follow up on these children. That's what they're saying. We didn't have the legal authority to follow up on these children. And what happened to them? Well, the investigation by a panel is investigating, the Associated Press investigated and found that more than 24 unaccompanied children were sent to homes across the country where they were sexually assaulted, starved, and forced to work for little or no pay. Now, that's just 24.
Yeah, well,
there's got to be hundreds out there that they didn't follow up on.
Sure.
And the child abuse is, they came to this country to avoid that.
Right. Welcome to America. That's not the America we know.
Now, Guatemalan unaccompanied minors were placed in human traffickers,
sure,
including sponsors and their associates. They were lured to the U.S. with the promise of an education. The teens instead were forced to work up to 12 hours a day on egg farms under threats of death. The report said the department did not conduct any home visits in the Ohio case, and they only conducted 5% visits nationwide. So all of that is just it's totally unreasonable.
It really is. It's completely unreasonable. It's absolute astounding that could happen.
And it says lawmakers from both parties are bristled at the officials' answers, saying they weren't adequate when the lives of children were endangered. We've got to change that whole policy.
We got to put some people in there that will
some of these young kids came to this country 12, 13 years old, and they were already pregnant.
Yeah.
Because they'd been raped on the way here.
That's right.
And now they probably,
undergoing all this awful abuses. Why? It's horrible.
And there's no investigation. That's why that border should have been closed a long time ago.
Yeah, unless you do it responsible, and that's irresponsibility,
That just ticks me off to no end.
Yeah, me too.
That you would abuse children that way.
That's right. Or anybody, but children especially,
Yeah.
We have to protect our children, Usually an adult can protect himself, and they know they're okay. Some adults you have to protect, sure. But children we all have to protect. Every one of us. Well, I'm Matt talking about children. I'm mad as hell about a dismissal they're seeking for a shooting that happened on the pier in San Francisco. This young 32-year-old lady was shot in the back while she was walking with her father, and it was an illegal immigrant that shot her. His name Juan Francisco Lopez Sanchez.
Oh, that's the guy they deported at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, at least that many times. A whole bunch of deportations on this man. Now his lawyer is saying because they want to charge him with murder, that they want it dismissed. They want the charges dismissed because it was inadvertent.
It was an accident.
Yeah, that's what they said. It was an accident. It was inadvertent, Somebody has a stolen handgun, and he fires it into the back of some young lady walking with her dad down the pier. Accidental. Why?
Well, it's in San Francisco, and a recent report was San Francisco is the most liberal city in the United States. And that's no surprise. They may dismiss this.
Yeah, they may.
And, I don't know. There is no justice if that happens.
Right, there is no
justice. But I can't believe that,
Yeah, when I seen this, I just couldn't believe it. I thought, man, oh man, this is... this can't be, but yes, it is, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, and there's lawyers that try anything to get their client off.
Well, that's the name of the game. You can't blame the lawyers so much. You can, but...
Well, here again, the gun legislation and all this stuff, background checks, they don't do any good if that gun is stolen and used in a crime.
Sure.
And what is it, 93% of all gun crimes in the United States are performed with stolen weapons.
Stolen weapons, sure.
We got a break for a commercial, but we'll be right back.
Okay, good.
So... Wow, am I thirsty? Whoa.
Are you really?
Yes.
I think you should come up to Oak Hills Brewing Company, home of the best brews in the high desert.
High desert? That's where I'm from.
Oh, do you know Floyd?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His brother Lloyd. Yeah, I know him.
Say hello to Floyd. Founded by two entrepreneurs, these big dreams turned into Oak Hills Brewing Company. They have yummy brews, select ales, craft sodas, root beer, ginger ale, and cream soda for the kids.
How many?
How many kids?
How many brews?
I don't care how many kids come up.
Oh, okay.
They have 3 brews.
Okay.
For kids. Then they have 13 brews for adults.
Oh, love it. Love it. Love it.
I'm glad. Oak Hills Brewing. Mondays, 5 to 9. Thursdays, 3 to 9. Friday, 1 to 10. And Saturday, 1 to 10. Oak Hills Brewing Company.
I'm going up right now.
Do you know how to get there?
Yeah, almost.
Okay, well, let me just make sure. 15 north to the 395, past 2 signals, turn right on Poplar, and you're there. OakHillsBrewing.com.
On my way.
Thanks for waiting. Lloyd and Greg are back.
Yeah, and I want to remind you, you're tuned to KCAA 1050 AM and now 106.5 FM. So... we were supposed to have a guest on today, and he didn't show up. He's a doctor.
He probably got called out right at the last moment. I met with him earlier, and he was really anxious, but something's just happened in the last hour and a half.
Well, yeah, but, people... I'm sure somebody's ticked off about something, and you can call us. Remember, hey... We're waiting for that local call. There's several people that's promised to call, and I haven't heard from them.
Yeah, we haven't heard from them anymore.
No. And it's 1-909-888-5222.
Yeah, the lady that had issues with her 17-year-old daughter going back in placement with her dad. I would like to know how that case come out. If you're listening, call us.
Sure. Now, getting back to politics. And just the other day, Hillary Clinton said when Obama leaves office, she would like to possibly appoint him to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I seen that. My God.
Can you believe this?
No, I can't. I had to read it 3 times. I thought I was dreaming.
With all the executive orders to go around the Constitution, and he used to be, she said there would be no perfect individual, no better individual to become a Supreme Court justice than Obama. And I said, oh, heavens, murgatroyd. That has to be approved by the Congress, and I don't see how that would. Well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he could work one day a year and pop up out of the ground on the second and let us know if it's going to be a bigger winner or not. That's what I was
Well,
thinking,
he said he didn't want to go a third term.
Yeah.
See? Well, there is no third term.
That's right.
for him,
There is none, but
Thank goodness. But
maybe he'll come as the mayor of Puerto Rico or something.
I think we got a caller on the line.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Hi, guys. This is Art from Riverside.
Yeah.
Hi.
What are you mad as hell about?
Well, you almost made me vomit my lunch hearing about Hillary Clinton wanting to put Barry Obama as Supreme Court justice. My gosh. I mean, this...
I mean, the abuses go on and on, but, if, as I say, there's no justice if she doesn't get indicted for these last top secret emails that went across. Well, they weren't top secret when I got them. My God, if you can't recognize a top secret memo, and I worked for government for a number of years, they would have fired me in a New York second.
No
doing
doubt.
things, anybody else. But, and as I say, she's being protected. We know this. We're looking, and they just said today that they're not going to demote General Petraeus.
Oh, they're not?
No, he's going to keep his 4 stars, and that's good news.
Okay.
I don't think they should have done that anyway. But she's done 100 times worse things, and she's still standing.
Well, look at our heroes they're getting rid of. Look at all our good standing ones they're finding ways to get rid of.
Well, they've fired a lot of generals, but I mean, it just, and then the next president probably will appoint some Supreme Court justices because some are getting pretty old. But, I agree with you. That was, but she's trying to side with the Obama.
Me ill.
Yeah.
It makes me sick.
I know. A lot of people are sick.
This has been a horrible second term. Maybe his first term, maybe rated a C, but this guy, get him off the public stage.
Yeah.
And Hillary, I think they don't kiss rear end Obama now. I think he's trying to get you indicted, Mrs. Clinton, and put Joe Biden in there to run
sure
for the Democratic nomination. So
there's always been, he never did like Bill Clinton. And, there's always been a
conflict. Yeah, there has.
A friction there.
Yeah.
And this has always been going on. And I'm sure he doesn't like her very much because that's putting him in a bad light when she didn't do her job.
She gave him a run for her money, what was it, 2008? And, she was fortunate that she was named Secretary of State, maybe as throwing a dog a bone, so to speak. I question her health. I question her energy. Remember, she had that
that brain
acting out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember anything for a while, remember? Yeah.
The Democrats are all messed up. With Bernie Sanders, a socialist, and with Mrs. Clinton, holy Toledo. It's disgraceful. And Obama, he's just absolutely against the pro-life agenda. If he was a Supreme Court justice, Obamacare has been just an absolute disaster.
That's what we're going to discuss next.
Yeah, we're going to discuss
our next
that.
agenda is Obamacare right now today.
You're darn right. It's just not.
What a mess.
It ends. The sign-up ends on Sunday. And
I believe that Obamacare regulators, the IRS, the Obama administration are attacking Christian hospitals regarding their pro-life stance, especially Catholic and other Christian hospitals with abortifacients. To have him as a Supreme Court justice would be, to turn a phrase, an Obama nation. So.
Yes, it would.
Of course. But these people that vote don't know. As I say, I have a relative that doesn't particularly like Hillary, but she said, I can't vote against my party. So she votes a straight Democratic ticket all the way down. I said, do you know these people? Yeah. Do you know who you're voting for? She said, no, but they're Democrats, and that's been my party, so I can't vote against them. So talk about blind obedience and stupidity.
It's stupidity at times,
I vote across the board. I vote for some Democrats, some independents, some Republicans.
Sure.
So it depends on the individual. There's some Republicans that I wouldn't vote for.
Absolutely.
But, it's just, it's
It's
ridiculous.
just ludicrous to vote across the board on the way the politics are going today and the caliber of people running in the various areas.
Well, everybody is so disappointed because we had the majority. They have the majority of votes on the Republican side now, and they haven't
done anything.
Produced anything.
They haven't stopped this man at all. Not a bit.
They said they're going to, though.
Oh, yeah, when? 7
give
months?
Us a chance.
I hope.
But who are you going to believe? In the meantime,
also,
if
yes?
I feel for those children that you guys are mentioning about the Guatemalans and all those immigrants that came up. I realize that I agree with Trump, as I mentioned some time ago, about a moratorium on the border. That I don't know how they're going to. But at least they got to enforce it better. But to have these children live like animals in these cages and no accountability again with the Obama administration, just like the bailouts. Who knows where billions of dollars have went? No accountability. Children being abused. I mean, that's just.
Yeah,
I don't care what country
still.
you're from. That's just sickening and distressing.
Yeah,
No,
we
we
see them
can't.
jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. That's all they're doing.
No, but we can't
Exactly.
take care of our own abused children
That's
that
right.
were born
You
here.
got it. Exactly. That's an excellent point.
And we
Got
give
it.
billions of dollars to these foreign countries that hate our guts.
They hate us, that want to kill us, want to destroy us, and
you
our
know,
children.
Yeah.
Last week I mentioned that Iran wants, we're going to give them $1.7 billion in interest payments on the $150 billion we owe them, and that's ridiculous.
It's absolutely
We could,
insane.
how we could use that money here. They should give it to those prisoners. They
Yeah.
should give $1 million a year for every year that they were in there.
They were in there.
Period.
Yeah. 444
They didn't give them
days.
anything.
Nothing. That's not a. Well, they did get something. I think they got some type of stipend, didn't they?
Yeah, well,
recently.
Even though George W. Bush, the second there, the end of his term was leading us to a depression. I will give him
Yes.
credit. At least he tried to give us some money back in his first term. I don't know if many people remember that or not, but
Yeah.
I
I
got
do.
$600 back from him besides a tax refund. So
Yeah.
at least he tried. But these other, I'm telling you, I was so disgusted with these politicians and just all they care about is just enriching themselves with their own agendas and not working for the people.
You can't spend yourself
Where's
out
Mr.
of.
Smith going to Washington? I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's discouraging.
It is.
hopefully
discouraging,
we're
right?
going to have a change this year.
I'm really looking
And
forward to following the Iowa caucus on Monday. I was there in 1988, living in Iowa at the time, and I enjoyed that process, and also New Hampshire. And I sure hope to God that we can just get somebody that's going to get the job done and do right by the American people. I don't care who it is, just as long as you.
Anybody but Hillary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That sounds
We're-
about
we're-
right. That
we're
really
through
does.
with Bushes and Clintons. That dynasty, get them out.
Well, wait. If there's any now, to be fair, we will receive a call. I mean, if you want to call in and you want to
support her?
support
Call.
Obama or Hillary, fine, give us a call. Local number
Come and be on the show.
1-909-888-5222. And thanks for calling. We got a break for a commercial now, and we'll
God
be
bless
right
you,
back.
Jim.
Great. Yeah. God bless you, Art. Appreciate you.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
Money, money, money! Most of us need extra money. Well, if you own something of value, go to Rich's Jewelry and Loan in Ontario. He'll loan you money on jewelry, musical instruments, tools, electronics, and almost anything of value. Or if you prefer, he'll purchase the item from you. And if you need a great buy in diamonds or a Rolex watch, Rich can save you hundreds of dollars. Don't waste time. Go to Rich's Jewelry and Loan, 124 West Holt Boulevard in Ontario. Give Rich a call.
986-2604, and tell them what you'd like to sell or bring in for a loan.
Loans!
Rich's Jewelry and Loan, 124 West Holt Boulevard, Ontario.
Just when you thought you couldn't wait any longer, Lloyd and Greg are back.
Hey, Rich is, he's taking a lot of stuff in. He'll loan you money almost on anything.
On almost anything.
As long as it doesn't eat.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't.
Animals.
No,
animals. That's in Texas. They do that there. But, I have some signed. My son's in the printing business,
okay.
and they had some signed, autographed Obama pictures that they couldn't get rid of. But I don't know what they're worth. No, but anyway, Rich is a great guy. Go down and tell him I'm mad as hell.
Yeah.
And he'll give you a special deal. I
Yeah, he will.
guarantee
He'll give you a special deal. He will.
You want to buy a ring, a Rolex watch, a guitar, a computer, you name it. You can save hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands.
Yeah, even
depending on what it is.
Depending on how big the item is. But he's a great guy too. So
okay, we invite, as I say, everybody to call. If you don't agree with us, that's just fine.
Yeah.
And so far, most people do, or I guess the Obama supporters have turned us off.
Turned us off, I guess? They're not listening now?
I guess not.
Oh,
nobody's calling.
Yeah, nobody's calling.
Okay, speaking of Obama again, here we go.
I got a little aside first.
All right, go ahead.
Guess what we're doing?
What?
We're having it's called something else, but it means the same, a burqa day. So our women that are non-Muslims can support Muslim women. They wear burqas.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure which
I didn't
day.
hear about that.
Yeah, I heard about it. I just got a
email?
Yeah, no, a text message telling me that was I going to support them. And
well, I don't even have a burqa.
I'm not even a woman. So.
Where can you buy one? I don't know where you could buy one. I guess you could make one.
Tear up an old sheet or something, wrap it around your neck, right?
No, that's the KKK.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not going to go there.
I'm sorry, jeez.
Our engineer's doing it right now. He's wrapping himself in some
He's got
paper,
his work on.
Yeah. Getting back to some new legislation that somebody wants to put in place or wants to enforce. Obama seeks to close the pay gap between women and men that are not equal. And he's after that, He says you got to have equal pay for equal. And I agree 100%. If you're on the assembly line and you're paying somebody $15 an hour or $10 an hour,
get it, right.
Everybody gets the same.
I agree with you.
But when you're in a different position, whereas I was in a position working for the federal government where I got outstandings every year and I got a bonus.
You got a bonus, sure.
So that's not equal because I did a better job than my counterparts.
Sure.
That were female.
Sure.
So, I mean, when you go with those statistics, you say, wait a minute, it's not equal. You can't pay them, an equal thing if they're not doing an equal job. So it depends on the job, and companies will have to come forward with that data. You realize how difficult that is and how many hours it's going to take?
Yeah,
the equal.
How far is it going to go back? Does it state?
Yeah,
it does.
The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission has proposed that all employers with at least 100 workers submit the data across 10 job categories and 12 pay ranges on a form they already are required to submit annually that includes employment data by gender, race, and ethnicity. But a lot of them aren't doing that. So they're going to try to enforce that.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, salaries would not have to be reported, and the data would not be made public. That's what it said. The EEOC said it would analyze the information to better focus investigations into unlawful pay practices. Now, the National Research Council recommended against using pay ranges and total earnings and suggested measuring compensation based on rates of pay such as hourly wages. The continuing problem is you simply can't compare either wage rate to wage rate or earnings to earnings because there are other factors that go into the compensation decision. It says it's education, it's tenure, it's potentially additional hours worked when you're talking about salaried employees, and there's bonuses.
Sure.
And all of these things come into play. It makes it so much more difficult. We've got rules already that said you've got to offer equal pay.
Equal pay, sure. We got it covered. What are you trying to do? What's this about?
Over legislation as usual.
Of course.
Just like the gun registration thing.
It's covered.
But
no, I know. They can't take them away real quick.
Well, they've advocated maybe we need, just like Obama wanted the records of all Californians' registered guns here, plus those that are their mental states.
Yeah, the mental state and health. Yeah, I remember that.
All of that information, plus if you've ever been charged with spousal abuse
or whatever,
you can't own a gun.
Yep.
And a lot of these cases aren't legitimate.
Sure, they're
I know of at least 3 cases where it didn't happen.
Yeah, I know the same.
And
yes,
somebody filed it, but you can't own a gun because of that.
Yeah.
And no psychiatrist can divulge this information make it public.
Sure. They're not supposed to.
It's not going to work, and that's what Obama wants.
Of course.
He wants all that information.
Yeah,
and then just he's asked Governor Brown for it, but I mean, you're not going to get it. I guarantee you, you're not going to get it.
No way.
And it's not those people that we have to worry about. There's a few that are out there, but they're usually using not their own guns. They're stolen guns.
That's right. Remember
and,
that.
Even if they're their parents' guns, it's stolen.
It's still stolen. That's right.
It wasn't registered to them. And the parents may be, have a background check and they cover just fine. But that kid that wants to rebel and use that gun in schools or kill his own parents and go on, we have no control over that.
That's right. Again, it's the person that buys the gun has the control, and that's where the gun control should be. The person who buys the weapon should know how to control it.
But here, that's just a case of more legislation.
More irresponsible legislation, too. That's irresponsible. That's not.
And I want to see a politician that's, or a president that goes in there and erases all this.
Yeah, that cleans it up. They have to.
They've got to, and there's several that said they're going to go in there and
do it, yeah.
Take all these executive
really
orders and things like that and change it.
So good.
And the tax policy. My God, it's that thousands and thousands of pages, and they're writing more tax policies, as we go. Yeah, there should be a flat tax.
There should be something.
I wouldn't object to that.
No, just be more fairly treated with that. They would.
Nothing, guy. Anyway, what else have you got?
Okay, let's talk a little more about Obamacare, and then I want to talk about a big threat. So
I've got a big one on that one.
Okay, let me give a little on Obamacare here, and then we'll go switch places a second. Right. I have a couple examples of Obamacare at its very, very worst. Of course, this is what it was written for. This is what it is. It's to destroy our health care in America. There's a gentleman that's in his 60s. He lives in Texas. His daughter can't care for him. He makes $400 a month, and he keeps falling, so she has to had to put him in a home, in a rest home. And he went in and applied for Obamacare. There's a copay of $2,500 before he could qualify for Obamacare.
And he doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it. He doesn't have the $2,500, and I don't know if it's a one-time pay or just how it works, but that's what he needs to apply for Obamacare. That's in Texas. Then we have a case where husband and wife decide to protect their adult children with putting this is in Ohio. They decide to put their kids on the hubby's insurance. One of them gets injured, they won't take the insurance from the hubby, from the husband because of her age, and she's not in school. And Obamacare dissolved that. So where's Obamacare? Where's this?
Well,
who's applying and who isn't?
A lot of people are going to find out, especially with the co-payment. I told you last week where a friend of my son's had to pay $9,000 copay to get an angioplasty.
Yeah.
And, they had to have that, and he borrowed the money. But
it's terrible.
You shouldn't have to go into debt. And that's what this whole thing was all about. For, Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act. Just
not
listen to
affordable.
It's not affordable for anybody.
And
everybody's supposed to have insurance. What's that?
Their final push is Sunday. So they're out there trying to, and Obama and his wife, Michelle, have done a video trying to get more young people to sign up because there were too many old people who required more medical treatment than was necessary last year, they thought. And then there's several companies. There were 14 companies, medical companies, insurance companies that dropped completely out of Obamacare and said, we're not going to follow this because we're losing money. Yeah. And
I'm sure our doctor today would have supported us on this and let the people know.
I have to give my hat off to Marco Rubio because he did pass some legislation saying the taxpayer's not going to pick up for those losses. Those billions of dollars that these insurance companies are losing because of Obamacare. And United Healthcare says they're probably going to go out of business this year because they've lost, $800 million last year.
A whole bunch of money.
But at any rate, they're trying to push this thing, and it's costing more to everybody this year than it did last year. The deductibles have gone up, and the cost. Consumers making less than 4 times the federal poverty level, about $47,000 for a single adult, or $97,000 for a family of 4, qualify for subsidies. But you also have a copay that most of these people can't afford.
No, nobody can. I mean, the copays are $2,500 for $400 a month income. Come on.
Well,
that's ridiculous.
It says they want all these young people to go ahead, and they don't have to. If you don't have the coverage or qualify for the exemption, face fines. You face fines this year of about $700 per adult, and $347.50 for each child, or 2.5% of family income, whichever is larger. There's a lot of people can't afford that.
No,
there's students out there. They're perfectly healthy. They say we don't need this,
and they can't afford it.
They still have to pay that $700.
Well, that was the base. See, the only way they're affordable is that each one of them participates. And who's going to be participating at 25
Well,
years
I
old?
know a young woman who's going to college, and she has a child.
Oh, yeah.
So she's going to have to pay $247 for the child and about $700 for herself. So
$1,000.
She can't afford it.
No, I got it. I hear you.
So a lot of these people are not going to pay.
Yep.
But if they file a tax return, they're going to take that tax return.
That's right.
So it's a lose-lose situation.
It has always been. It has been since the inception, since it was printed on a 2-foot deep stack of papers.
There's some good things about it, and I do agree. There's a lot of people that didn't have it and have it now, and they got treatment last year, but it cost a lot of money.
Yep.
We got a break for a commercial, but we'll be right back.
Is it that time? Your car needs a smog check? Well, check out Quick Smog Check in Montclair. They guarantee your vehicle will pass, or you pay not a thing. That's right. If it doesn't pass the test, what the heck? You don't have to pay. So what's the reason why you're not calling them? The number 909-626-5436. You can also drive right down there now. 5438 Holt Boulevard in Montclair. They're open 9 to 5, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Do it now. No wait smog checks at Quick Smog Check in Montclair. 909-626-5436.
Once again, here's Lloyd and Greg.
And I need a smog check.
All right. He's available.
I know. I got to go down there. I'll be. I
gotta take the car in.
And where's that, on Holt?
On Holt Boulevard. That's right. It's between Vernon and Central. If you get to Central, you went too far. If you get to Vernon, you got to go a little further, and it's a little spot mall there.
Oh, you've had work done there before.
Yeah, he's done my smog for years. My mom's before me. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Any rate, we're getting back to Obamacare. It says they need higher enrollments, particularly of young people, healthier consumers, because the sick older people that signed up are costing them a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't work that way. And as I say, I argue, I have a friend that says he has friends of his that didn't have insurance. Now they do, and it was a blessing to them. And I agree 100%. But there's major problems wrong with this, so it's got to be fixed. And, it's not affordable care.
It's not affordable. It's not available to everybody.
And the cost, tax-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the increased taxes?
I don't know.
That was listed in the Obamacare, that we're having to pay more taxes this year on almost everything because of Obamacare.
Oh, yeah.
But that was in there. That was in the
Oh, it was all
plan.
in there.
Yeah.
The plan has all this in there,
And I had an article on that, but I didn't bring it. I should have brought it.
You should have.
I should have. And if you've got a horror story to tell about Obamacare,
give us a call.
Give us a call.
Absolutely.
If you know about this. If you've got a good story to tell, that's good too.
Right.
And
we like good stories. We don't need to be mad all the time.
I just, it just ticks me off that they didn't fix this thing in the beginning.
Sure.
Plus the fact
they allowed it to pass when it was broke. It was bad.
I didn't hear that they've got better security on the people who signed up, and all that information is in there for hackers to get to.
Sure.
And it's one of those things now that you got to be aware of. I get notices at least 3 times a year. Somebody's hacked into one of my accounts where I had something. And like my medical records from years ago. I was injured. I had a back injury. Was sent to emergency at UCLA. They were hacked.
Oh, my goodness.
So I got a notice there that they would give me free coverage, for
so long, yeah.
But
I had a government hack that got me.
And cards.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nothing is safe anymore. It just, our records are so open, and that's why,
Remember when you had your Social Security number on your driver's license, and had those days when we had our Social Security number? Everybody had them. Put them on their tools and put them on everything.
Well, yeah, just
not too long ago either.
Well, and then they had all these prisoners that had that information. And they're trying to curb that. The IRS said, and this is going to be tax time too, so these prisoners are getting ready to file at least 50 or 100 tax returns.
Sure.
And the IRS last year said that some of these prisoners got 50 to 100 tax returns.
Sure.
And how stupid is that if you can't monitor those checks from the IRS coming in to one prisoner?
Yeah, to a prisoner.
Who earned $500,000.
Sure, set him up, right?
I mean, how stupid is that?
That's right.
I mean, you can stop that immediately.
Sure.
By having one person monitor that mail coming in.
All the mail, yeah.
And say, wait a minute, you've already got a tax return here.
Yeah.
But you've been in jail for 5 years. Where did you earn the money?
That's right. Well, they get that big money, then the graft can be taken care of. They get a lot of cash for the people that aren't honest in there.
Well, yeah, and he said, well, I've been selling drugs.
Yeah. So he says, okay,
I declared
I'll give you special things. Yeah,
I don't know.
I bet you had girls, too.
That system is broken. You know, it is totally broken.
Yeah.
The IRS should be abolished. And I used to work for Treasury Department.
Yeah, you were right there next door,
no,
right?
but not IRS.
Yeah, that's right.
But, you know, this is the thing.
But you know.
They'll probably stop my
Yeah,
annuity
your annuity's gone, buddy.
You can no longer get it.
Yeah.
And say, hey, we just misplaced your check, you know, for the last 6 months. Just...
Well, I want to talk a minute about ISIS. Should be a subject on everybody's mind, especially what happened in San Bernardino, what's happening throughout the world. There's a gentleman. He's a pastor. He's really a naturalist. Is who he is. His name is Johnny Moore. He wrote a book called Defying ISIS, and I've read this book, and it describes our threat. It describes these folks, how they do, how they operate, and it also gives us a plan on how to stop them.
Yeah.
And it's a very good read. It's very easy to read. It was on Amazon. It's not real spendy.
But you're making noise on the table with it.
Okay, but I'm making too much noise and bothering everybody, so let's do it this way.
Yeah.
And anyway, great book, and really a gentleman. He's been around for a long time doing other stuff, but he has the insight on a big threat, which is ISIS. And if our government continues to do what it's doing, they're just allowing this to become bigger and bigger and more harmful.
So true.
And more powerful. You know, we're funding these people through our enemies who are going to use this money wherever they want to, and I'm sure some of these folks are going to get it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just it's terrible that we have this threat, but it's real, people. And this is what Johnny says. He said people are not believing the real threat of this, and it's so real, and it's so scary and so here. And you can see it in San Bernardino when these two folks kill those folks. That wasn't isolated.
Well, no.
And you know, some of them get caught, but the majority, when they decide to do it, they'll a lot of people are going to die because of it. So be aware.
Yeah, and we've got also Paul Chabot, who's running for Congress here in the area, wrote a book on terrorism. It's a very good book,
that
too.
was before he was even in the politics, right?
Well, that's right.
From his service days, yeah.
Dr. Chabot. That's how he got his doctorate. He wrote that book.
He wrote that book, that's right. I remember that. He was on our show one time.
Yeah, he's a very good author.
Yes,
he knows all about this.
Yes, he does. But back to Obamacare, folks. Yeah. What can I say? What more can I say? You know.
Well, I do.
Yeah, and well, they know too. The folks out there, that just you gotta just let it register.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the final push is on this sign up.
Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of people refuse to do it, and I don't know. I know. What do you do with the homeless person that can't afford anything?
Yeah. Well,
they still got to go to the county hospital.
Well,
And they have to.
Yeah, there'll just be numbers,
They have to service them. But it's just.
Don't they give them Obamacare now? Isn't that what it's supposed to do?
No, you can't. I mean, not
if you're homeless and you go to a county hospital emergency, you don't get Obamacare. That's not how it works.
No.
Is that how
you
it's supposed to work?
You got to sign up for it, and you got to have an address.
Oh,
all
okay.
this other things.
So what was the deal about everybody being insured? What was that, except for who?
You can't insure the people that are
the immigrants,
vagabonds.
Yeah, well, the immigrants, they get free service here.
Or the mentally ill.
Or the mentally ill, yeah.
They don't even know how to sign up for it.
Yeah, they don't even know how. Yeah, I don't understand.
So you've got thousands and thousands of people that cannot sign up for it, do not have a permanent home.
Sure.
Some of them, it's just totally ridiculous.
It is. It's been from the day one.
Here's a statistical map, and it's kind of interesting, and I want to bring that to your attention. It says there's 10 states out there who have more people on welfare than they do employed.
Oh, boy.
And last month, the Senate Budget Committee reports that in fiscal year 2012, between food stamps, housing support, child care, Medicare, and other benefits, the average U.S. household below the poverty line received $168 a day in government support. And what's the problem with that? With that much support? Well, the median household income in America is just over $50,000, which averages out to $137.13 per day. So these people receiving welfare are getting $168 a day. And to put it another way, being on welfare now pays the equivalent of $30 an hour for a 40-hour week, while the average job pays $20 an hour with benefits, see? Furthermore, there's actually two messages here. The first is very interesting. The second is absolutely astounding and explains a lot. A recent Investor's Business Daily article provided very interesting statistics for a survey by the United Nations International Health Organization. Percentage of men and women who survive cancer 5 years after diagnosis. U.S., 65%, England, 46%, Canada, 42%. Percentage of patients diagnosed with diabetes and receiving treatment within 6 months, 93% in the U.S. And all these things, so we get better treatment here. Of course, who's paying for it?
Yeah. Who's paying for it? Yeah.
And it's costing millions and millions of dollars.
Sure.
They're finding it not that effective.
Yep.
And they also checked the statistics on the past presidential cabinet of who worked in the private business sector prior to their appointments to the cabinet.
Okay.
This is very important because what the private business sector is real life business, not government job.
Sure.
And we'll go back to Carter had 32% that had prior business. Reagan, 56%.
Wow.
G.W. Bush had 51%. Clinton had 39%. And George W. Bush had 55%. Obama, 8%.
Wow.
And the private sector. The least of any president ever. Ever.
Well, he does. Everything
so,
he does
is... all these things are rubber stamped, and these people don't know what the business sector is all about and how can you conduct business. And that's why so many people are interested in Trump, because they said, look, he's a businessman.
Yeah.
And if he'll appoint people that can get the job done, that have been in the private sector, and if they don't, he'll fire them.
Yeah.
In a New York second.
Well, we know
so
that.
So maybe we need something like that.
Yeah,
but
I wish our politics were better set up for somebody like Trump, because they just don't massage people like Trump.
Yeah.
They don't like him. I mean, there's a lot of people don't like him just because he's real and because he says the truth, Well, I hope he can go over that hurdle. I do.
We'll see what Iowa brings on Monday, and
that'll be the good example, won't it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week, and hopefully we'll have our doctor guest on.
Yeah, we'll have our doctor, somebody maybe on to
Dr. Sepoya will welcome you to our studio anytime.
Yes.
And we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. The medical profession.
Yeah, he had something very new he wanted to present today. He wanted me to present today. So I'm excited to see what that is, because he usually has some good stuff.
So anyway, till next week, we want to bid you all a good day.
And be kind to somebody. And be aware, please. That's the best thing. Be aware.
Try not to be as mad as hell. But
yeah. Well, get mad as hell and call us, and we'll help you get better.
It's hard not to do.
It is hard not to do it in these days. Thanks for your ears, guys. Well, it filters through. So lay down. Your pain is real. When inside goes red.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
We have had some lopsided hoops today. I'm Keith Irizarry. It was a top 25 battle, number 11 Virginia, number 16 Louisville, but this one all about the Cavaliers.
Barrentis right in front of us around midcourt now with 7 to shoot, goes to the top of the arc. Stockton, the big 7-footers out of him. He tries to drive inside. Nice pass to Toby, who will push it down with a two-hand dunk.
That was Virginia Sports Network on the call, and UVA rolled by Louisville 63-47. They held the Cardinals to 32% shooting on the day. The Big 12 SEC Challenge, it started off with a blowout. Number 9 West Virginia dominated by Florida 88-71. The other matchup between Big 12 and SEC that's going on right now, Texas A&M trying to pull away from Iowa State. It is now 68-60 with less than a minute to go in the second half. Indiana and Minnesota having a good one at 64-61 in favor of the Hoosiers. And NC State leading Miami 37-32 at the half. NBA action today. We've got some good ones. The Warriors play the Sixers at 5 p.m. Eastern. Head coach Steve Kerr has enjoyed being back on the bench and says his team, they like the spotlight.